China has sent military vessels and warplanes to warn off USS Stetham, a guided missile destroyer, that sailed near a disputed island in the South China Sea, according to Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Lu Kag. Under the pretext of freedom of navigation, the U.S. side once again sent a military vessel into China's territorial waters off the Xisha Islands without China's approval, the spokesperson said in a statement, adding that such U.S. behavior violated Chinese law and relevant international law, infringed upon China's sovereignty, and disrupted the peace, security and order of the relevant waters. China dispatched military vessels and fighter planes in response to warn off the U.S. vessel, the statement reads. The Chinese side is dissatisfied with, and opposed to, the relevant behavior of the U.S. side, Lu added, calling the U.S. warplanes maneuvers a serious political and military provocation. He said that the U.S. is deliberately stirring up troubles in the South China Sea, as well as running in the opposite direction from countries in the region who aspire for stability, cooperation and development. The U.S. Navy did not officially confirm the operation. The U.S. Pacific Fleet spokesman, Lieutenant CMDR Matt Knight, told Fox News that the fleet conducts routine and regular FONOPs, as we have done in the past and will continue to do in the future, without specifically mentioning the Sunday incident. However, an unidentified U.S. Defense Department official earlier told Reuters that the U.S. Navy destroyer USS Stetham came within 12 nautical miles of Triton Island, which is a part of the Paracel Islands located in the South China Sea between China and Vietnam. The head of U.S. Pacific Command, Admiral Harry Harris, recently criticized China's activity in the region. China is using its military and economic power to erode the rules-based international order, he said in a speech delivered on Wednesday in Brisbane during the joint US-Australian military exercises. Fake islands should not be believed by real people, he added, as reported by Fox News. The Center for Strategic and International Studies, a Washington-based think tank, said in its recent report that Beijing has undertaken substantial upgrades of its military infrastructure in the Paracels and particularly started building new facilities on Triton Island. It was the second such operation conducted by the U.S. during Donald Trump's presidency. On May 24, the U.S. Navy guided missile destroyer, the USS Dewey, came within 12 miles of the Mischief Reef in the Spratly Islands, another disputed archipelago that lies in the southern part of the South China Sea. At that time, the Chinese Defense Ministry also sent 2 frigates to warn off the U.S. vessel and said that it was firmly opposed to the U.S. behavior of showing force and boosting regional militarization. The Paracel Islands are contested by China, Taiwan and Vietnam, while the Spratlys are also additionally claimed by the Philippines, Malaysia and Brunei. China claims sovereignty over a large part of the South China Sea, a region crucial for China's maritime trade. China has already built runways, aircraft hangars, radar sites and hardened surface-to-air missile shelters on its artificially created islands in the region, according to photos analyzed by the Washington-based Center for Strategic and International Studies, CSIS. Beijing's actions have sparked concerns in Washington, and the U.S. Navy, which is fiercely opposed to this Chinese initiative, has deployed additional warships in the disputed zone, conducted maneuvers near China's artificial islands, and flown over them, claiming it has been done in the interest of the freedom of navigation. In response, China called Washington's involvement in the dispute the greatest threat to the region. In early June, China and the U.S. both held exercises involving air and navy forces, in another episode of confrontation over the disputed South China Sea. The U.S. sent 2 B-1B Lancer supersonic bombers to fly a 10-hour mission from Andersen Air Force Base, Guam, which was conducted in conjunction with the U.S. Navy's Arleigh Burke-class guided missile destroyer the USS Starrett. A day earlier, the Chinese People's Liberation Army, PLA, conducted its own air and navy exercise off Hong Kong. The patrol mission involved 3 helicopters and 2 Type 056 corvettes, the Kuasu and the Huizhou, the Defense Ministry reported. Jim Dean, managing editor at Veterans Today, told RT he believes Washington is getting embroiled in a territorial dispute it has no part in as part of a PR game against China. This is a part of a sparring campaign that I think is going to go on for quite a while, Dean said, adding that the latest incident, which comes on the heels of a U.S. arms deal with Taiwan, is a part of turning the screws by the U.S. administration. Territorial dispute, really does not involve the United States, because it's on the other side of the world, but the U.S. likes to show the flag, Dean noted, arguing that the U.S. is inflaming tensions there just to get the publicity that we can do it and we will continue doing it. The incident might be also a deliberate move intended to provoke China into deploying more forces in the South China Sea, in order to justify a U.S. response, according to Dean. We really have some theater going on with this, and this all is going to go on for some time, he said.